guys, one of my viewers on YouTube, or it was actually a viewer on YouTube who messaged me on Twitter, suggested that I talk about the no Fap movement and what I think about it. So I've always written that off as just some stupid shit that people say on the internet. They're like, oh, I just ruined my no Fap movement. And it's kind of like a thing that exists that people don't actually do. It's like a Reddit thing, and I don't really do Reddit, so I'm not really taking it seriously, but I decided to look it up a little bit and talk about it because why not? It seems like fapping is a good topic for me, and I did the Feel Free to Fap video, which is pretty much the antithesis of anything that has to do with no Fap, so I thought I would talk about it a little bit. I looked at the website, and you have to join the no Fap movement in order to see the challenges, but there's specific amounts of challenges that you can get, and it's basically just a movement to help people who have, you know, sexual deviancy and who are addicted to pornography and jerking off, basically, which I think is kind of a bunch of bullshit. There are people, as I've said in my sex ed videos, who suffer from sex and porn addiction, and it's a real issue, but it's not something that the average Joe on the internet should be worrying about or trying to fight against. I also don't think the best course of action to try to wean yourself off of that is to just go ahead and go cold turkey with some kind of ridiculous mission statement that has the word Fap in it. I can't take anything that has the word Fap in it seriously. It's basically just an internet slang word that makes things sound ridiculous. I don't even take my own Feel Free to Fap video seriously, and that was part of the mission statement of that video, was that you shouldn't take things so seriously and you should just have fun with things. And that's basically the mission statement of everything that I do, that sexuality is not bad, that exploring it is not bad, and that enjoying it is not bad. So the no Fap movement is basically against everything that I stand for. I feel like if you do have a real addiction to porn where you can't enjoy things outside of pornography, or you can't have an intimate relationship anymore with anyone because you are too addicted to porn or regular sex doesn't fulfill you anymore, that's a huge issue, and you should go see a professional. You shouldn't just try to not do it and do some stupid set of challenges that some stupid people on Reddit say that you should do. I think it's ridiculous to try to act like there's something wrong with enjoying porn, like there's something wrong with, you know, masturbating. I feel like if you do it 1, 2, 3 times a day, less, or maybe a little bit more, you're completely fine and you are the norm and you're just like everyone else. A lot of people just do it once a day, and I feel like it is true that the amount that you masturbate or the amount that you find solace in porn does rise with how sad or how bored or how lonely you are, but oftentimes it's just boredom. And if you want to stop fapping so much, and if you want to stop, you know, relying so much on porn for comfort, you should, you know, spend some of the time that you would spend jerking off, you know, improving yourself. Like, instead of fapping that third time, go to the gym. Instead of fapping that second time, go do some weird activity, or go, you know, take a course, or, you know, further your education, or hang out with friends that you wouldn't normally hang out with, or go to like a pub or somewhere that you wouldn't normally hang out with. There's a bunch of clubs you can go to, and I'm not saying like actual like dance like clubs. I'm talking about like you know, like learning how to sew type clubs. Not something that boring and monotonous, but by the way, I do know how to sew, so I'm not hating on anyone out there who sews. I've done my own cosplay outfits and things like that, and outfits for shoots and bikinis. But anyway, what I'm actually trying to say is there are things that you can do to fulfill your loneliness or the void you have in your life, or your boredom. Like, you can even play through games. Like, I like to play through single player campaigns a lot when I have free time, which I don't have much of right now, and I actually miss doing that because that was something I did a lot. But there are things that I do to fill that gap, rather than, you know, masturbating for the 15th time or going out and looking for casual sex or something like that. Sex is amazing, and when you're horny and you have the urge to do it, you should do it. And I think it's unhealthy to not fap, first of all, because not only does that not work, it's kind of like eating, but with a slower, you know, time where you have to do it. Basically, you're just building it up, and you'll end up having like nocturnal emissions, which is basically coming in your sleep because of an erotic dream, or maybe even not, just because you are more relaxed. It's kind of like wetting the bed, but that doesn't usually happen in anyone over 12 years old, because people know to have that release on a regular basis. And if you don't come at least once a week, and if you're forcing yourself not to do ththings that you want to do, you end up, you know, being less healthy overall, and you end up being less satisfied, and you're uncomfortable, you can't focus on things, and it's just like, it's an awful, uncomfortable experience in the first place. And a lot of people, I've seen people saying, oh, they feel better, they feel like they can focus more on other things once they get past the hurdle and once it feels more comfortable, but it's like not, I think everything good should be done in moderation unless you won't become self-destructive if you do it in large amounts. Like, I like to do things in large amounts that I like. I like to eat a lot, but I don't eat a lot because I don't want to gain a lot of weight. Or I like to have a lot of sex, but I don't have a lot of sex with anyone I want because that can be unhealthy and I can get STDs, or I could end up spending too much of my time on sex. Like, there is too much of a good thing in many aspects, but to completely cut yourself off is unhealthy, it's irrational, and it's just like replacing an actual doctor and an actual diagnosis and an actual treatment plan of something that actually exists, which is sex addiction and porn addiction, with some stupid shit on the internet that doesn't make any fucking sense. So, in my opinion, no fap is bullshit. Fap in moderation, fap to your heart's content as long as you feel that it's healthy and you're not sad with your life because of it and it's not overrunning every thought of your everyday. Like, you should be having fun with your body, you should be exploring your body. Sex is not wrong, porn is not wrong. Porn is basically just like something that puts you in the mood or makes you think about an experience you've had or experience you want to have, and it just makes you, it enhances your sexual experience because it puts you in a more sexual mindset and makes it easier for you to come, makes it easier for you to have intense climaxes or to fantasize. Like, everyone fantasizes, you can't say that you don't or that you haven't, and it's not a breach of someone's privacy, it's just something that you do and something that happens to come naturally to all of us because we all want to have sex with this person or another, or have this much sex or have this many experiences, and we all have different fetishes and things that we're interested in, and we all have a type of genre of porn that we enjoy, whether it's, you know, female friendly or something really hardcore or amateur. Like, we all have it and it's completely fine. And the reason that a lot of people get sex addiction in the first place or get porn addiction in the first place is because they were so sheltered from it that they were exposed to it in a point in their life where it's overwhelming and it becomes an unhealthy obsession because they weren't taught how to understand it and how to explore it healthily. Healthily, I don't even know if that's a word, but, you know, when you're younger, you don't need to be censored, and that's something I always say. It's not about censorship, it's about experiencing things early and in the right context, and that's what your parents are supposed to do. They're supposed to teach you how to handle things because you're not going to be able to be not exposed to things your entire life. You're gonna get out into the real world and you're gonna see these things, and these things are gonna exist for you and they're gonna be parts of your life, and if you don't know how to handle it when you're an adult, it just can completely fuck you up. And so learning about that stuff at a young age under the guidance of someone who has more experience than you, who knows how to teach you how to handle it, is so much better than censorship. And when people say, oh, like, okay, first of all, it makes no sense for a 13-year-old boy to not be able to see cleavage, and that could harm him in some way. That's ridiculous. I go outside all the time with children and babies, and this is how I dress, and people who say, oh my god, what about the children with the way I dress on videos? That's fucking stupid. But when you think about porn or something like that, I don't feel like 13-year-olds and 10-year-olds and children shouldn't be exposed to that stuff. I think they should be exposed to it and then taught about it, and I don't feel like the parents should be like, oh, we can't talk about that, we're not going to talk about that, that's wrong, that's taboo, that's something you should never experience, and then they experience it later and they're like finally fulfilling that curiosity and that urge that they have, and then they end up getting like too entranced in it to worry about anything else because they haven't had it in moderation with the correct guidance their entire lives like they should have. And that's something that's really sad, that a lot of parents are worried about exposing their children to sex so much that they allow them to have these violent video games and these violent movies and these, like, you know, horror films, and that's fine, but oh, if there's any sex, if there's any nudity, that's not okay, and that's a huge issue in America, and that's why a lot of people are so fucked up sexually, and a lot of women don't know how much they, you know, should be enjoying sex, or how much they do enjoy sex, and they don't know much about their bodies, and men don't know about women's bodies. It's just a clusterfuck of people being really bad at sex, or people not knowing how to handle sex, or people enjoying sex a lot but feeling like it's so taboo that they want to keep it under wraps. It's just kind of ridiculous. So yeah, that's my thoughts on NoFap. If you have an actual disorder, you should actually get it checked out. You shouldn't go through the NoFap channels. If you're doing it just so you can say you are doing it and you're doing it half-assed, just don't fucking do it. It's stupid. It's bullshit. It's not good. And fapping is healthy. It's a release. It's a stress reliever. It's something to do when you're bored. It's something to do, you know, it's just the best. Not the best, but you know what I mean. It's like really good for you and it's not bad at all. And it's just like, you know, drinking occasionally. It's better for you than drinking occasionally, because drinking can actually be not healthy for you. It's like better than that glass of wine you have with dinner or whatever the fuck shit people say is good and healthy for you. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I did this this topic justice. As always, I'm hoping that I said some good shit and said everything that I thought in my head, and I think I did pretty good with this one. So yeah, Thanks for watching. Bye guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, if you're enjoying my free content and you want to keep my content flowing, please consider supporting my Patreon campaign. Pledge a couple dollars in support of my YouTube and live stream and get some cool exclusive content while you're helping me reach my goals. Link is down in the description. Thank you, anything helps. Hey there vlog and fan service lovers, I just wanted to let you guys know that I now have a serious upload schedule. Every day is going to be normal update and topic vlogs, except Wednesdays are going to be interchangeably Tara Reads Comments and Sex Ed with Tara. So that means every other Wednesday is Tara Reads Comments and every other Wednesday is Sex Ed with Tara. And every other Friday is going to be Friday Night Mail or Fan Service Fridays. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well as my gaming YouTube at youtube.com/tarababcockgames. And if you want to watch my gameplay live, don't forget to check out tarababcock.tv or twitch.tv/tarababcock. Subscribe and don't forget to smile. Bye guys.